Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we have part 4 of my favorite tag teams. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today is part 4, and this will be the final part of my favorite tag team figures in my collection. And today, I wanted to kick it off with the Bushwackers, and this is the second version we have got of them as elites. We did get a basic set, and all 3 of the different sets of Bushwackers have looked very different. The original was with their black singlets and gray and black camo pants, which I do think is more of their classic look. When I think of them, that's kind of what I think of. And then in the battle pack line, we got a green and tan version, which did come with hats, which I really liked. And then we got the most recent set here, and this is their Survivor Series look when they teamed up with Doink. These came with the swappable heads, and these, because they're the most recent, have the double jointed arms and the true effects on their head sculpts. And honestly, the head sculpts, I think they went a little too light with the hair. I think the hair should be a little bit darker, but I think these look really, really nice together. And the honestly, I don't have the black version, that first lightest version, in my collection anymore. I think I would prefer that specific color scheme, but I do really like these Bushwackers figures. I think the likeness is really nice on them, and I was excited to get something different when these got re-released in that line, as opposed to just rehashing that old look with the new updates to the arms and face, head sculpts and everything. I like the torsos for these. I don't think anyone else uses this leg mold, which I do think is interesting. I wish they would not. I don't love the shield legs. I feel like those get a little bit overused, which maybe I just think that because a lot of people use them for customs, but I don't know. Anyway, coming back here, really like the Bushwackers, but we're moving on. Next up, we have my custom Mustache Mountain here. We've got Tyler Bate and Trent 7, and both of these are customs. I did them on Work in Progress Wednesday, and it's based off the attire they wore at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I believe they fought Undisputed Era for the NXT Championships, but this is just kind of an updated Tyler Bate, and we never got a Trent 7, so I wanted to make one of him as well. And parts-wise, I do not remember. I know I used Ryback lowers and some Ringmaster thighs for Tyler Bate, and I think it's a Finn Balor torso. Can't remember where I got the parts for Trent 7, but you could basically do like a Hacksaw Jim Duggan with some Stone Cold lowers. I think that would get the job done. Gotta do some painting, obviously, but both of these head sculpts are from Headeration. I can't remember where I got these decals from, if they were from Curb Stomp or if I printed them off myself, but we are getting an updated Tyler Bate, which I'm very excited for. I imagine the head sculpt will be like this with the longer hair. There's a lot in between his first elite and the upcoming elite that I would love if they got to, but really now I just want to get one that is a matching attire with Pete Dunne. But as far as Mustache Mountain goes, we never even got a battle pack of these guys, so these are a couple of my personal favorites in my custom collection, but had to sneak them in here for the tag team showcase. Next up, we have Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys and Lita here, and I had another set of the Hardy Boys in my collection, which was their modern look, and this is the Team Extreme look. So the Jeff Hardy here came in the 2-pack with the Triple H figure. I really like the mesh shirt, the red straps they got on there. I think look fantastic. I would like more Jeffs like this. I wanted, I've said many times, even in the first showcase episode or whatever, that I would like a Jeff that I want more Team Extreme. The mat here, I fixed up a little. I don't remember what the base figure was, but this head sculpt was from another Hardy Boys 2-pack we got that was kind of their, a PG era look for them. So I got that matte head, put that on here, and those are matte arms from one of his elites. Maybe the Brood 2-pack, and then that jersey is the same one that came with this Jeff in that 2-pack. So I did do a little bit of a wash on the Jeff Hardy hair to give it a little more texture, which I don't even know if you can really tell very well. I guess kind of look up close here. I put a little more in it just because it was that just a plain flat red color, so I tried to give it a little bit more texture, but these work for me for now. Oh, the Lita also is a Jack's head. Threw that on there. I thought that fit this era a little bit better. But these work for now. Like I said, I really want the Hardys to come back to WWE so we can get a bunch of figures. Just sign some Legends contracts. Let me get a bunch of Hardy Boys, and I'll be happy. But until then, there's my Team Extreme. Next up, we've got a tag team from the Ruthless Aggression era. So we have Cade and Murdoch, and I don't remember if it's Lance Cade or Garrison Cade. He went by both at one point. I don't remember what he went by while they were tagging together, but I made these guys on Work in Progress Wednesday a long time ago using some Jack's heads for them, and I think I used like DDP legs maybe for my Lance Cade. I don't remember what I used for the Murdoch. It's Kevin Owens' torso, I know for sure. I really hodgepodged these together, and they were very simple, so I'm happy with how they turned out. The head sculpts for them, I think Jack's nailed. I think they look fantastic, but I didn't ever really care about these guys. I think they feuded with like the Highlanders, or I can't remember. I remember them winning the titles and being really pissed. I can't remember who they won them from, but I did not like these guys. And Trevor Murdoch even went on to have a nice stint in NWA, which he still might be there. I don't really know what's going on with NWA. And then I believe Lance Cade actually passed away from like a heart attack or something in his 30s. That could be completely wrong. I could be remember that incorrectly, but I think that's what happened. Anyway, I really want to make them. I love the Ruthless Aggression era, and they're simple customs, but they absolutely get the job done with what I was going for them. So I wanted to throw those in here just because they're kind of unique formulas. I use Jack's heads and everything, but I think they look really good next to everything else. Next up, I have Brian Adams and Brian Clark. I have Chronic from WCW, and these guys were both in WCW and then came in briefly in the Invasion era over from WCW to WWE, and I really wanted to make them. They were like the WCW answer to the APA, but instead of drinking beer, these guys like to smoke the Chronic, which I never think they actually said. I think they always implied that they were, because I'm pretty sure they weren't allowed to say that on TV, or like because of sponsors. Anyway, both of these guys, I used an Undertaker body here for both the torso and the legs, which I think the calves might have been some shorter ones. And then I used an Ultimate Warrior here. Did a lot of painting, a lot of like swapping around to get heights correct. So if you want like a better formula, I Work in Progress Wednesday for these guys a while back. I think I go much more in depth, but I don't think we're ever going to get these guys from Mattel. I forget. I think that is it Brian Adams? I think that was Crush, and then Brian Clark is Atom Bomb. I get them mixed around, and in my head I can't process that Crush from WWE was in WCW at all, because it just doesn't look like the same person to me. But anyway, there's my Chronic. I've got a couple more custom tag teams, but we've got a bunch of official stuff from Mattel I'd like to get to. Next up, we have the first version of Harlem Heat that we got. This was Elite 46, I think, and I thought these were magnificent figures when we first got them, and we have gotten them re-released now in the Monday Night Wars line in the blue and the black attires, which I haven't been able to chase down, but this is my preferred version of Harlem Heat. I really like the red. This is just what I think of with them. When they were announced, I was surprised. I didn't know what to expect as far as what obscure figures we were going to get. So getting Stevie Ray, I was really excited about, and getting them in their matching attire here, I thought was awesome. One thing I really liked was that they gave them a difference in height. They didn't just give them the exact same bodies, which I appreciated. While I don't think the torso is quite I think that Stevie Ray, if he had like the Stone Cold torso, that kind of thicker torso, that would have looked a little bit better. And then for Booker T, I've never loved that they gave him like a super ripped torso, and in this one he has that super ripped John Cena torso. But then with their singlet kind of cover over it, it wasn't a huge deal to me, and them just making their heights a little bit different what meant a lot more than just how the torsos looked. Obviously this was one of their earlier elites, so they've got normal arms, no true effects or anything. But like I said, I haven't gotten the Monday Night Wars figures yet, but I really like these, so I wanted to include them in here. They also did come with extra do-rags that you could put on them. I just happened to grab these. The do-rags are in red, so I wanted the black to break up that color a little bit, but the Elite 46 Harlem Heat right here I think are fantastic. Moving on, we have the Motor City Machine Guns, and this is more of a modern look for these guys, for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin here. And as of recording this, I believe they're just free agents, but it's rumored that they're going to be showing up in NXT. I think there's like an anniversary show or something. I can't remember what it was, but I would love to see these guys in WWE. I've liked them for a long time, and I do feel like they don't quite get the credit or recognition they deserve, and a lot of it I think is just because they were in TNA and they spent pretty exclusively all their time in TNA. And I think these guys are fantastic, especially if you go back watch some of their matches from the 2000s. There's definitely a lot of influence in their style to a lot of stuff we see now. They had a good feud with Generation Me or the Young Bucks when they were in TNA. They do a lot of cool stuff, and I had to have them in the collection. So both of these are customs, obviously. Like I said, they might be going to WWE, so it'd be really cool to get an official version of these guys. And I do plan to go back and make a more classic look of them in TNA, but that's down the list. I tell you guys when you give me a request that I'll add it to the to-do list, but the to-do list is very long, so hopefully I'll get around to that. But until then, I've got my modern Motor City Machine Guns right here. Next up, we have a fun one here. We've got Diesel and Shawn Michaels in their Dudes with Attitudes attire, and we did get a Jax version of these. And these are both official WWE figures, pieces, parts, whatever. But all I did was put a decal on the Diesel. That was very simple. Shawn Michaels is a full custom. I use a Tommaso Ciampa torso for him. I want him a little more ripped up. And then all of the tights designs, the boot decals, everything, those are customized. So the Shawn Michaels, I always feel like they don't give him his credit for how ripped he was back in the day. He's still in maybe not now, but as of a few years ago, he'd made a few appearances, and he still looked like he was in great shape. So I wanted to reflect that a little bit in my customs here, but I could see us getting a 2-pack of this. Even an Ultimate 2-pack, I think would be really cool. And because you can do a lot just with Diesel and Shawn Michaels, so they don't even have to be in this attire, but that'd be cool nonetheless. So parts wise, I don't remember where the arms came from, like the Network Spotlight Shawn, I think. I don't know, I can't remember. I did this on the Work in Progress Wednesday, so if you want to know, go check that out. But anyway, there's the Dudes with Attitudes. Those are going to be the last customs, but I've got a couple more tag teams to get before we get on out of here. Next up, we have a couple of my underrated favorites in my collection. We've got the Elite Goldust and Stardust, and I thought both of these were really nice figures, but this is probably unpopular as well. I liked Stardust. I wasn't a massive Cody fan. I had enjoyed the stuff him and Goldust had been doing. They won the titles from the Shield before Cody turned to Stardust, I'm pretty sure. Their tag team was just like the Brotherhood or something. Or I think that, I don't remember. Maybe they just went by Cody and Goldust. But I thought it was funny when he became Stardust, and I thought his work was fine. Like, I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't necessarily look at it as them like burying him. But obviously things worked out for the better. We've moved on from Stardust. I thought this figure was fantastic. I thought it was really nice. I thought the legs were a good choice for it. I like that they gave him the t-shirt torso. They gave him his own wrist gauntlets with the little spikes on them. And then this Cody had a lot of people used for customs once he left the WWE, so it was heavily used. It's a good sculpt, and then it matches this Goldust, which came with the entrance coat. And it's not my favorite design for his actual attire. Let me take off the rubber coat here, and it's a rubber coat, but I don't mind since it is sleeveless. It fits him perfectly fine. And I also I think I prefer Mattel's Goldust or Dustin Rhodes figures just because he's tall, and I feel like height-wise he's fine, but his Jazzwares figures are gigantic and they're so bulky, and I feel like these just fit a little bit better. Maybe they could even be a little bit taller, but I really like this figure. I thought it was a cool look, kind of like Darth Maul-esque, and I'm a big Star Wars guy, so I've always liked these two figures. But like I said, I liked Stardust. I enjoyed that time. I didn't enjoy him teaming with the Ascension being the Cosmic Wasteland, but especially these two figures on my shelf, they've always been a couple of my favorites. And to finish up the entirety of our tag team showcase here, we have the New Day. And in the very first part, someone commented, "Where is New Day?" And I said they would be on the way. And then I realized after I had recorded parts 2 and 3 that I, in fact, had forgotten the New Day. So I went back to my shelf. I went through, and I've got a bunch of different versions of them. We've got the Bootios 3-pack and the Super Saiyan look, which we don't have the entrance gear for. If we had that entrance gear, those would have made the video. We have a purple and white version. We have a bunch of different versions, but these are the ones I settled on. I like these, even though I think it's supposed to be a little more pink than it is orange, but I really like how these pop on the shelf. I did swap on a black sleeve onto the Kofi, but then just there's so much uniqueness to these. I like the Biggie's pretty straightforward as far as what we typically get for his figures. He's got his big entrance coat. Kofi's got his entrance coat, but I really like his shoe mold with the unicorn horns. I think those are awesome. And then the Xavier Woods as well has his special boot mold that has the like elf boots, and just these figures. I have almost all of the New Day figures. I'm missing a couple here and there that I like to pick up, but I think these are an awesome trio. I would love to see some greatest hits or from the Vault New Day release, just with the updated articulation and everything. And even like if we got these, we could adjust the color a little bit so it's a little more accurate. But there's a lot of New Day figures I could have chosen, and these are the ones I went with. But if anyone else, if you have a different opinion, you think there's some better ones, I would love to know what your thoughts are. But that is it. That is going to wrap everything up for the tag team showcase. I do plan to get to my favorite trios and my favorite stables. So I did leave some teams out of the tag team showcase just because like some are tag teams within a group and some are trios. So I wanted to do those separately because it was pretty easy to distinguish a lot of those. But I had a lot of fun with my tag teams. Hopefully you did as well. And you've got some opinions, comments, whatever, going forward about trios and stables as well. But if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.